If you had real clarity in your mind, you wouldn't be watching another YouTube video right now. You'd be out doing the thing. You're not here because you need more information. You're here because your brain can't actually process the information you're already drowning in. By the time this ends, you'll see exactly why your focus keeps collapsing on tasks that should feel easy, and the technique that fixes it in under 2 minutes. I've built multi-million dollar businesses and lost them, and every collapse traced back to the same failure. I couldn't hold focus long enough to think straight. You think you lack discipline, that if you wanted it enough, you'd focus. You're wrong, and I'm not going to argue it. I'm going to prove it to you right now in the next 90 seconds. See the circle around my face? Lock your eyes inside it. No drifting to the edges, no glancing at the sidebar. Full screen if you're not already there. Now, hold it. You see, your eyes are a camera lens. Left on their own, they sit wide open all day, catching everything, holding nothing. No single detail sharp enough to keep. Zoom in, like you just did, and the noise around it disappears. Mental focus follows visual focus directly. That's why, lens wide open like every other day, the information never turns into action. Hormozy, Gary Vee, Bet David hand you the exact success playbook for free. Post on social media 10 times a day, plan your next 5 moves ahead, and you agree with every word they say and still don't do it. That's not a talent gap. That's your lens stuck on wide angle. And that's capping your output before you even start. Here's what's different about last minute versus every other video you watched today. You're still with me. Not because the content is more captivating, but because your eyes stayed anchored. And anchored eyes are why anything sticks. The tighter you hold visual focus on one narrow spot, the more your brain pulls from that exact spot. It's not spread thin, sort of scanning the room. It's drilling one hole straight down. But that's not your default. That's why you signed the contract last year and missed the clause that came back to bite you. Not because your eyes wandered while you read. They're supposed to do that. That's how reading works. It's because you never zoomed the lens in before you started. You opened that document on wide angle and stayed there the whole read, catching words without holding any of them. That's not the diligence problem. You were never actually focused to begin with. You just assumed sitting still and reading counted as focus. Now, you're thinking your tasks require your eyes to move. Read, write, research. That's true, which is why this focusing technique only asks for 60 to 90 seconds. That's the exact charging time neuroscience keeps landing on for a visual anchor to prime deep concentration. Hold it once, and the mental state carries into the task after your eyes move on. You've held focus inside that circle for almost 3 minutes now. Notice anything? Sentences landing a little sharper, less of that itch to check your phone. That's the lens zoomed in. The gap between you and the founders you admire was never motivation. It was this, the lens stuck wide open. So here's what you actually do. Not tomorrow, but before your next task. Step 1, kill the environment first. First of all, put your phone in do not disturb mode, out of arm's reach, away. Skip this and nothing else works. Then clean your desk, remove any visual stimulus. Now, step 2, pick one small fixed point, like the first word on the page or a spot on the screen. If it's on screen, put it on full screen. No exceptions. A thumbnail sitting in your peripheral vision is enough to pull your eyes off target without you even noticing. Step 3, hold visual focus on that point for 60 to 90 seconds before you let your eyes move. That's your charge. Blinking is obviously fine, but wandering isn't. And now step 4, the second you're charged, drop straight into the task. Don't check your phone first. Run this technique before every deep work block and watch how much more you get done. The truth is, this technique hits differently depending on how you are wired. Some founders need it before every task, but others need it only once a day to reset the whole system. So I built a free assessment that pins down your entrepreneurial type in about 3 minutes so you're not guessing. Links below. Take it before the next task you're about to have focused through.